Yo, what is up, Minecraft players? It's your boy Echo, and today in this video, we are checking out the latest update for Minecraft Bedrock, because today, we have been given the update version 1.19.70, and guess what? It features the Minecraft Sniffer. Heads up, Switch players. It does say, note, there is a delay with the update on Nintendo Switch, and the update will be available soon. For those of you who play Minecraft on iOS, Android, Windows, Xbox, and PlayStation, check your store for the version 1.19.70. Switch players, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. So this is a full release, and the community manager had this to say: it's another busy day. Minecraft 1.19.70 is rolling out for Bedrock. Read all about it here. If you're just here for the changelog, it is down below. Guys, I would just like to say, if I cough or sneeze or explode in today's video, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit sick, actually. Starting today with changes, we have some changes to emotes. Let me read them to you. Emote usage now appears in chat. Also, the emote wheel now has 4 slots with an improved interface, along with quick emoting with hotkeys, easier sorting of emotes, creating a new character now automatically applies for default emotes. So it doesn't matter what platform you are on. I'm on Windows, just access your emote wheel. As you can see here, 4 different slots pop up. I don't like this. They have massively reduced how many emotes you have access to. However, I do like the other changes. So it did say if you use an emote, it now appears in chat, but it is limited. So this one is follow, waving, swords flourish, and staff spinning. If we hit this one, you'll see in chat, it says the real Echo is asking everyone to follow along. If we do it one more time, it'll say the real Echo is waving. However, if you use custom emotes like this one or this one, it doesn't appear in chat at all. In fact, it does not work at all. So they are limited. If I do it one more time, this one does not appear in chat. Looks really weird when I'm not holding a trident. Now, the other thing I want to show you is they do have hotkeys. So if I hit the number 1 on my keyboard, it's going to do that action. If we do it one more time, and let's say we hit 3, it's going to do the bottom one. So I kind of do like the quick actions. One of the changes we do have here, though, is if we go to dressing room, we're going to go all the way to Steve. We'll do this in real time. If we go back to my emotes, you can see here they have changed. Because by default, when you change your skin, it changes the emotes. So this time we have follow, but we have over there, which does appear in chat. We also have clapping. So the real Echo is clapping, or Steve clapping looks really, really weird there. And then we also have waving as well. Now, I'm not sure if this was here previously, but if I go to my emotes, I can actually clear them all. I don't know if that was a thing last time, but I kind of like that, to be fair. But if we go back to game, aha. So yes, you can actually still get rid of your emotes. Moving on to vanilla parity, improvements have been made with vanilla parity to align with Java Edition, especially with horse breeding, mobs, and blocks. Starting with the gameplay, it says fixed an issue where night could not be skipped if 1 or more players were on the death screen. It says eating and drinking animations are now always centered regardless of screen aspect ratio. So if you're eating or drinking, it's always going to be aligned and centered. Moving on to mobs, this is a fascinating one. It says breeding horses can now produce random variants. We have a bug report. Breeding horses does not produce random variants. So you can see here, when this person breeds the same horses together, it's always going to be the same type of horse. It's been changed. So from my understanding, it's meant to be a 1 in 9 chance that you can have a different variant. So if we breed and breed, we actually have a chance to get a different offspring. It didn't really happen on that occasion, but it's now possible. Huge change. Listen up. When breeding horses, the baby horse now has a chance of being better than its parents in speed, jump, strength, and health. This change is intended to make horse breeding a viable way of getting great horses. If a player starts with good parents and puts in enough time and golden carrots. The Minecraft developer Sliced Lime created this chart showing you the possibility of getting better horses. So if you put in the time, you can get much better offspring. So for example, let's say that these are two really, really good horses. Well, when we breed this, their baby has a chance to be faster. It has a chance to be better looking, by the way. It also has the chance of having more health and has the chance of having a better jump ability. So you're just going to have to be persistent with horses a little bit more. Horses cannot be pushed over fences covered by carpets anymore. And we have a bug report. Horses, donkeys, and mules can walk up blocks with carpets. We do have a picture here. So basically, horses could escape your pens. I can confirm this doesn't happen anymore. So if you were to try and push these horses or hit these horses to try and get them out, they cannot escape at all. Ghast sound volume will now fade the further they are from the player. So if I was to do / summon Ghast and keep going further away, then the sound is going to be even more reduced. And this is so much better if you're inside the Nether, because of course, the further you go away, you're going to feel a little bit safer. The closer you get, you're going to hear the volume a lot louder. Villages will now emit anger particles when hit by a player outside of a village. Now, yes, we're in a village and this guy is registered to the village, but the particles it's referring to is those ones that pop up when you give it a good old slap. So if this villager was in your own village farm, completely away from a village, those particles would now appear. Fixed a bug where zombified piglins would spawn in the Nether in light levels above 11. Also, minecarts can now eject mobs into liquid blocks. We have a bug report. Here is the bug report. It says exiting rideable in brackets minecart and boat places player in unsafe location, water lava inside blocks, and minecarts can no longer drop mobs into holes. Now, I found an interesting one here, because if you watch this Enderman, you'll see here that when it moves all the way up here. It doesn't stay in the minecart. So what I will say is if you do have a creeper and you move it from A to B, it does take damage through the blocks. However, if I was to grab a minecart and also grab myself an Enderman here, this is an interesting one. Bro's always trying to ruin the videos, aren't they? If you put this and put this inside of here, number one, he can teleport outside of the minecart. And if I move him there, he cannot take damage. He teleports away. So I'm not sure if that's the intended mechanic that, well, I'm trying to show you. But you can see here, this guy wanted to be the main character in today's video. So you can see here, he takes damage through the blocks. In fact, his own llama is trying to kill him. Anyway, they can be injected into dangerous locations now. Witches will now drink a fire resistance potion when standing on a campfire. So that's interesting because they're technically not on fire. Remember, they fixed this. They said that if a player stands on there, you don't get set on fire. But you can clearly see there that the witch will in fact drink a fire resistance potion. Moving on to blocks parity. Bells that are connected to multiple blocks no longer drop when one block is broken. So you can see here, the bell is attached to both sides. Previously, if I broke this, the bell would break off. As you guys can see, it just stays attached to the other side. Note block sound attenuation over a distance is now linear. We have a bug report. Note blocks volume drop off with distance is too steep. So this is what it's like for Minecraft Bedrock before this update. And this is what it's like for Minecraft Java. So this is very similar to the Ghast change. So when I place this down, the further I go back, in terms of the volume, it's going to be reduced very slowly over a period of time, rather than a steep drop-off. Impact sounds of projectiles on amethyst blocks and clusters are now audible. So we're just going to be using block of amethyst right here. So this can be anything like a trident, snowballs, or in fact, a bow. You'll be able to hear sounds. As you can see there, we got some sounds going on there, so that's an audible change. Dead bush will now drop sticks when broken with any tool except for shears, even those with the Silk Touch enchantment. Vines will drop nothing in the same situation. So if I change my game mode here to Minecraft Survival, and I grab myself the pick, and we grab ourselves some shears, first thing is, if we break this, it has a chance of dropping sticks. However, if I try and Silk Touch this, you'll see here it still breaks. You now have to use shears in order to pick up a dead bush. Moving on to experimental features, it says the Sniffer and Archaeology are now available for testing. These features will be added to Minecraft 1.20 in the Trails and Tales update. As these features are still incomplete, in development, and considered a work in progress, be sure to back your worlds before enabling experimental features. These features can be enabled by turning on the next major update toggle in world setting. I don't gotta tell you how important it is to back up your worlds, but for those of you who want to check these out, go down to your world experiments. You're gonna have to enable this one, but you're also gonna have to enable the Sniffer one as well. Starting with the archaeology side of things, they've added the brush item, and this is what this is going to look like. Now, ironically enough, it still has the old recipe. So in the future, the recipe will be this. The recipe will, in fact, be a stick, a copper ingot, and a feather. It's not quite made it in this version. So currently, you have to make yourself a string pickaxe. 1, 2, and then 3 of these. And that currently makes the brush. They have added the suspicious sand block. Suspicious sand generates in desert temples and desert wells. So the beautiful brush tool is used on suspicious sand. Currently in this version, the suspicious sand will break as a block. In the future, that won't happen. They have added 4 pottery shards, which are arms up, skull, prize, and archer. Again, these are located in the desert wells and the desert temple, which I will show you, and they can be crafted into a decorated pot. They've added the decorated pot. Now, in terms of crafting it, there's 2 separate ways you can craft this. So the first one is a completely blank decorated pot, which is going to look like this one. And then we do have a decorated one, which again, you can use the pottery shards to make it. And it looks like this. Now, again, the model is going to change, and so is this design. It does say, smash a decorated pot with any block breaking tool to break it apart and get the pottery shards back. Or hit it with our fists to pick up the pot without breaking it. So if I go to game mode S here, if I break these pots with my hands, it picks up the actual item and I can place it back down. If I break it with something like a pickaxe, you can see here it kind of shatters. However, you do not lose the item. You can then go back to the crafting table and you can then craft it once again. So just a quick reminder, suspicious sand from the creative inventory doesn't give you any kind of artifacts at all. It's just going to completely break the block itself. It's only naturally generated suspicious sand, like the one in the temple, that will give you an item. Now, currently on Minecraft Bedrock, in this version, there's only 1 suspicious sand inside of the desert well. That will be updated to 2 or 3 in the next update. But you'll see here, as we brush this away, again, by the way, that flickering bug will also be fixed next update. This time, it gave me an emerald. When you enter a desert temple, head to the back, and you're looking for this right here. So you're going to have to very, very slowly remove these blocks. Unfortunately, there, I broke one of the artifacts, but you can see here, when we break this, we have a chance of getting a very nice pottery piece. Diamonds. In this instance, we were given some TNT. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to fast forward this because we do have a new secret room that has been added. So we managed to find a few goodies down here, but this is the secret room that has been added. Currently, this doesn't go to anywhere. In your pre-existing Minecraft worlds, you're going to have to go find some new chunks. They won't generate in your older ones. Found a diamond, found a pottery shard, and found a few pieces of TNT. I would like to point out at this point that this is not going to be all the archaeology features. The developers gave us these features so we could give them feedback. There will hopefully be some more pottery shards and some more features before 1.20 releases. So we do have the Minecraft Sniffer. It is currently only available in egg form, and it does say sniffers cannot be tempted and they cannot be tamed. Sniffers are passive friendly mobs. Sniffers sniff in the air and occasionally dig for seeds. Now, the seeds that they can dig and find, they are called the torch flower. It says the torch flower seeds can be planted on farmland and grows into a flower. The seeds can be used to breed 2 sniffers. The fully grown flower can be harvested and replanted, but can also be crafted into dye. This is what it looks like, and we have our sniffers over here. So if we grab ourselves the actual seeds themselves, this is the seeds, and we plant this down, we can actually breed these guys and get a baby version. Now, on Bedrock Edition, they can take like 10 minutes until they plunk themselves on the floor. They still need a little bit of work on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, but they're a pretty cool mob that has been introduced. I just hope that we get more than just this. Now, as it does say, if we go to / game mode S here, please leave me alone here. If we break this, we can plant it back down, but also this can be crafted into dye, and that dye is orange dye. Moving on to fixes, starting with stability and performance. Fixed an issue where simultaneously pressing the mine and place button on any input device while targeting a structure block can cause the game to crash. Fixed a crash on Nintendo Switch when attempting to log in while set to local network mode. Fixed a crash that could occur when entering a 1.7.1.0 world in 1.8 or above. Gameplay fixes. The player's crosshair now properly mines / interacts with items in front of them while swimming / gliding rather than 1 block above their position. We have a bug report. So this bug has been around for quite some time. In fact, it was reported back on the 19th of November 2019. So this person, when they're swimming and trying to place the redstone features in this last slot, it does not work at all. It completely bugs out. And this was happening for Minecraft Pocket Edition players, but also any other Bedrock platform. So I can now tell you, if you go into the swimming stage here, get inside of this, and then you place down these. We're drifting. Place this down here. You can see here we can place it. Can't place it there because obviously there's a sign there. But anyway, now you can fluently place down your items. Players no longer take rapid damage when touching damaging blocks. We have a bug report. So I've actually showed you this before. I think this is a reoccurring issue. So when this person puts on the Thorns boots and they run into specific items, as you can see here, they take rapid amounts of death damage. I got my boots. I put them on. We go to / game mode S, and we try and get inside of here. You can see here, it's now been reduced, and you just take damage very, very slowly. Projectiles shot while swimming / gliding no longer spawn from above the player's position. But we do have a bug report, but this one also covers items dropped while swimming / gliding manually or on death no longer spawn from above the player's position. So this bug spans across all of these versions for many, many years. In fact, it was reported on the 30th of March, 2018. We do have a video here, so when this person flies into the wall and dies, their stuff should be on the floor, right? Well, not in this instance. All of their items were above. So as you can see, that was fixed today. Moving on to mob fixes. Fixed a bug where an allay holding a lead wasn't able to be leashed unless the player held a full stack of 64 leads in the hand. Parrots will no longer shake while on a player riding a horse, that is turning mid-jump. Fixed a bug causing global entities, for example, ender dragons and projectiles, to stop rendering when out of normal entity render distance. Moving on to blocks. Sounds from all button types and levers are now controlled by blocks slider in audio settings. Redstone sources can now power a single block from different sides at the same time. We have a bug report. So I'm not much of a redstone user, but this has been a bug that has been annoying for many, many players. So if you're into your redstone and this hasn't been working for you, well, now it should. What I do know about this one, destroying mangrove log or mangrove wood now properly causes the leaves to decay. End crystals occupying the same space as a block will no longer cause that block to disappear. Players are now able to place top slabs in blocks that are only partially blocked by an entity. We have a bug report. So when this player is placing down slabs, and we're going to copy it in today's video, when they try and place slabs above them, they couldn't do it at all. So when this person placed down a slab and it was 1, 2, and 3, and they tried to place this above them, they couldn't do it. Now you can. Players can no longer see through partial blocks when sneaking or riding in third person. So I can safely tell you today that the boat glitch, this one where you could see through walls and stuff, has completely gone. It's total darkness now, which is kind of sad because that glitch slash bug was there for a very, very long time. The composter now always consumes an item when being full. Importing experimental blocks into a non-experimental world using the structure block will now correctly place unknown blocks which are not interactable. Error messages about building outside the world height limits no longer appear when simply interacting with blocks at the world height limit from certain angles. We have a bug report. So here is the report. If you went to the highest limits and you tried to open something such as a barrel, it would class it as trying to place a block. So I'm at 320 blocks. If I try and place this down, we get that warning. But if I do open a barrel, the warning does not pop up anymore. Fixed a bug where observers would not detect changes due to corrupted data. Pretty cool change. Hoppers now pull in items from above them through all blocks that have a lower height than a full block. We have a bug report. Again, another long time bug reported back in 2019, spans across all of these versions. Hoppers don't pick up items above non-full blocks. So you can see here, try to place the dirt on top of an enchantment table to go to the hopper and it wouldn't work. So if we grab ourselves a grass block, we have ourselves an enchantment table, we drop the item in there, check the hopper, boom. Now does. Item fixes. Crossbows now shake while charging arrows. So, you can see the pullback animation. It now has a charging ability. Spawn eggs for Snow Golem, Wither, and Trader Llama now appear correctly in the inventory and hotbar. So I believe the bug with this one, it didn't mention it in the changelog. I believe they were completely black. Written books can now be moved in the inventory even when the player has identical written books. Touch controls, let's read the changelog. So these are all the touch controls. I didn't place them on signs because I'm currently on Windows and there's no way for me to currently test them. But I will leave the changelog down below. There wasn't too much standing out other than updated how to play screen with information on the new touch controls. Moving on to user interface, fixed an issue where the mine tooltip was appearing when targeting a block with a trident in creative mode. Navigating right with controller left stick on the marketplace sidebar now collapses it. Added a new marketplace icon to the marketplace screen sidebar. Ocean Explorer, Woodland Explorer, and treasure maps now show the proper icon in the inventory. We have a bug report. All maps in the game have the same texture in the inventory. So I'll show you this one. These all look the same, but they should be different because each map is actually slightly different. And I'll show you a very brief comparison here. So we have the Woodland Explorer and we have the Ocean Explorer. Clearly see that this is the Ocean Explorer and this one is the Woodland one. And that is different, and same is to the treasure map. They have fixed a bug where mouse scrolling on the friends option drop down would not scroll the drop down contents. Resolved an issue where graphical elements of the sign in / sign up screen could extend beyond the bounds of the dialog container. When starting a new world in Pocket UI, they have removed the press open chat to open chat message for players with text to speech turned off. Double clicking on the furnace output slot will no longer drop the item. So I think this is because, you know, like the glitch that we had, they've fully patched it and they're kind of scared that we're going to find another one. So previously, if you double tapped on here, the actual item would just drop on the floor. As you can see there, it now stays in your hotbar or in your cursor. Fixed a bug where the edit world screen couldn't be opened for a world if the corresponding world directory had a space in it. We have a bug report. So here is the report and here is the video. I've showed you this one before, but when this user tries to play a world that they've created, and they want to edit that world, such as the Ender Dragon quest, they can't edit it. Same happens when they click on the Super Survival. I thought it would be something to do with the colored text, but apparently it was just a general bug. The loading screen no longer flickers when entering the Nether in immersive VR mode. The swap item animation now plays when switching hotbar items of the same type with the same durability. Moving on to Spectator Mode, it says phasing through blocks in third-person view no longer makes the camera zoom in or out towards the player's head, and we have a bug report. So what happens here is that when the player is in third-person perspective, it's still glitched out. So that was fixed today. So if we go into third-person behind and we go to Spectator Mode, you can see here we don't have the same problem that they were having and the same while we're in front. Also, end gateways can no longer be used in Spectator Mode. And realms. Let's read the changelog. There was quite a few fixes and changes with realms, but to save you time and me time, if you do have a realm, please go and read the changelog. It is down below. And technical updates. We have a lot of these. Let's read the changelog. Obviously, they've updated the templates for add-ons, but honestly, there is so many changes when it comes to the technical side of Minecraft. So I think the add-on community will be happy. I don't know if anyone made it this far in today's video, but if you did and you could leave a comment and say, you know what, Echo, that sniffer is absolutely beautiful, I would appreciate it. I apologize that this video isn't as great as my other ones because I am a little bit sick and this video took me so long to do. So if we could get a like on today's video, I really appreciate it. And hopefully we get some pretty cool betas and snapshots very, very soon. See you in the next video. Hey, you can now book me on Cameo. Link is down below.